This is the Jaron Ikner Show, and I don't no one can do it like me, bro. I'm a one of a kind. That's why I was like, yo, I'm just gonna name the show after myself, the Jaron Ikner Show. This is season 2, episode 3. We will see how long we keep this consistent. But that really comes down to your guys' participation. If you're watching this live on YouTube, that's great. Leave a comment. I might read it, might not. Kind of distracted, but we'll see. But if you're watching this video on the replay on my other channel, leave a like, leave a comment, participate. Let's get involved. Let's get all mixed up and be a family. Join the Star Kids. Anyways, we're gonna get into it. I talked too much intro. All right, so first topic that we're talking about is actually kind of a surprising one because this one actually kind of came out of nowhere. I was like, what? It was crazy. And there's plenty of stuff to talk about, but I figured this is the first thing to talk about. We're talking about Casey Anthony. Yes, Casey Anthony is back in the world, I guess, because I don't think she had social media in the days when she was doing what she was doing. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with Casey Anthony, she got off on basically extinguishing the life of her kid, Kaylee Anthony. Now, this has not been confirmed, but the evidence was pretty insurmountable against her, but she somehow beat the case and she basically disappeared into obscurity. This girl was facing first-degree murder, aggravated child abuse, all kinds of fun stuff this girl was featuring or getting charged with. And she beat the case. And then, well, actually, she was found guilty, but she ended up being not guilty of the remaining charges. But she ended up basically disappearing into like probation. I actually don't even know. Let me look it up. Let me do a little bit of research here. So when it came to her sentencing, she actually was found not guilty on counts of 1 through 3 regarding first-degree murder, aggravated manslaughter of a child, and abuse. But she was found guilty on counts 4 through 7, etc., so forth. And basically, the defense asked for a sentencing to be based on 1 count of lying on the grounds of the offenses, etc., so forth. I'm not reading all this crap. We're not going to read all this. I want to get to the juicy thing. So basically, she was sentenced to consecutively 1 year in jail, $1,000 in fines, and for each of the 4 counts that she was charged for. So she faced 1 year in jail. And because she was already basically serving time during this trial, she got off on time served. So she was basically let free. She was released 10 days after her sentencing. So after that, she kind of just basically disappeared because, I mean, who wouldn't in that situation? You basically got off on this case and she disappeared. This is back in 2011 when the sentencing went down. And this all started back in 2008. That's when she got incarcerated and this all started. So it's been a long time since we've heard from this woman, but she popped back up like out of nowhere and she's back on TikTok. And basically what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to show you a little clip from TikTok and we're going to talk about it as a family as we discuss what this girl has going on here. So let me bring this up real quick. Boom. And let's see what she has to say here.
March 1st, 2025. This is my first of probably many recordings on a series that I'm starting. I am a legal advocate. I am a researcher. I've been in the legal field since 2011. And in this capacity, I feel that it's necessary if I'm going to continue to operate appropriately as a legal advocate that I start to advocate for myself and also advocate for my daughter.
Got it. So basically she's been working in law this entire time and now she is back with the full action back up in the mix trying to, I guess, advocate for law, etc., and so forth. Which honestly, like, I'm not even against that logic. Like, I mean, she has to survive, right? Like, she has to live. She has to continue to make money. She's not, I mean, we're living in weird times right now where I think now actually might be the best time for her to pop back out. She's actually kind of smart about that. Just in terms of like the atmosphere of America right now, it's like her actions are kind of accepted by the zeitgeist that is America right now. And it's kind of messed up even saying that, but that's just kind of how I feel. She's kind of smart about that. But let's look a little bit more into what else she has to say here. This is a 3-minute long video. We'll see how much of this we watch because
For those of you who don't know, my name is Casey Anthony. My daughter is Kaylee Anthony. My parents are George and Cindy Anthony. This is not about them. This is not in response to anything that they have said or done. That's not to say that I'm not going to respond at some point to some of the things that they have said and done.
Shots
The
fired.
whole point of this is for me to begin to reintroduce myself. I'm doing this both personally for me, but in a professional capacity. Moving forward, the majority of what you will see will be me speaking in a professional capacity.
Lit. I mean, that's cool. That's cool. But you know that you gotta do a lot of cleanup on the comment section. I'm already reading some of the comments, and the number one comment right here says, "You cage your daughter. No one wants to see you advocate for yourself." That's literally the top comment on this page. I didn't scroll or anything like that. That is literally the top comment on the page. And that kind of gives you an idea where it's just kind of like, Casey Anthony, is this a good idea for you? Because you were living in a world where you are just an easy target, a very easy target. Things were different back in 2008, 2009, 2010. You didn't have TikTok. You didn't have like the constant 24-hour like doom scrolling and all this stuff, and just a bunch of angry people who take advantage of that. And comment section is lit. Look at these comments right now. If you read these comments right here, most of these people are basically attacking her. There's not a single person who was just like, "Oh, good job, Casey." Look, Casey Anthony is rebranding herself as a legal advocate. It's like Jeffrey Dahmer opening a steakhouse. You can't sit with us. Advocate for my daughter. She would still be here if it wasn't for you. She's not your daughter. She's your victim. Girl, the world is divided on everything but the hate for you. The level of narcissism is wild. So it's like, girl, I don't even know you should have did all this. And I get it. Maybe you got to do it for work so you can get paid. And there are going to be some people out there who rock with you. Like, I think, how many followers does she have right now currently? Let's look at her follower count. Let's take a look at her page and see what she has on her page right now. So right now she is sitting at about 21,000 followers. She has 21,000 followers already, 18,000 likes. She's only following one person. Who's she following? We will never know who she's following. You can't see that one person that she's following. Boyfriend, I guess. I don't know. But she has a couple other posts on here. So let's read this post real quick. Let's mute this music so we don't get copyright. And this says, "The presumption of innocence is a sacred right afforded to all individuals arrested in this country. That is not an opinion. It is a fact. We are plagued by arrest to judgment before someone even steps foot in our courtroom. Once a verdict is read, however long process it takes, the public must trust that the system worked in the way that it was intended. You are entitled to your opinion, but not your own set of facts. You, as the general public, will never know the full facts of a case. The media will never tell you the full truth. They will tell you what you think and how to feel. Educate yourselves. Stop spreading the hate. If tomorrow you woke up and were arrested, accused of a crime you didn't commit, or someone close to you were to be, wouldn't you want for you/them to be treated fairly and just? It's not that complicated." And she makes a good point right there. According to the American law that we live in, you are innocent until proven guilty. Now, in the eyes of public opinion, that's a whole different story. And that's the point I'm trying to make here when it comes to doing this all on TikTok, where literally that just puts the biggest target on your back. You're going to have people gunning for you from all over the world who just completely forgot about you. I wasn't thinking about Casey Anthony last week at all. I haven't thought about that woman in a long, long time. She was good. Like, she coasted. But that's where the narcissism comes in, agreeing with homeboy with the comment over here. That's kind of what it's about. Like, after a while, you start to still crave the attention. You start to still crave some kind of attention. If this girl's all shut up somewhere in her house just watching TV, like, after a while, you kind of start to feel that yearning to connect with somebody. And I think that's kind of what it's about when she's kind of throwing this Hail Mary, hoping that she would get some people that rock with her, which, like I said, odds are there already are. She has 21,000 followers. She'll be good. She has more followers than me on TikTok. By the way, follow me on TikTok if you get a chance. Jaron Ikner. Follow me. I post videos that are funny. But anyways, I digress. Crazy situation that the girl decided to put herself in with this. And you know what? If it works out for her, which it won't, more power to her. But I'm very curious to know what you guys think. Let me know what you think about Casey Anthony's TikTok. Are you going to follow her page? Are you going to see what's going down with her in her life and her advocacy for her daughter, et cetera, so forth? I would love to hear your thoughts. But we're going to go ahead and move on. We're trying to keep this tight. we already spent 10 minutes talking about Casey Anthony. I think we might be a little bit over this episode. I got plenty of other things to talk about. Up next, we're talking about World War III. And I think I probably should have led with this because it's a pretty big topic. And there's a lot, but the thing is that I'm trying to not make this channel like a political channel, but it's like the news of the day. It's what's been happening right now is the buzz of the big WW3 heading in our direction. A lot's been going on. There's a trade war going on right now between us and Canada and Mexico. And Canada came out and was like shots fired at Trump being like, yo, y'all better not, basically. That's my Canadian impression. But essentially, it's getting to a point where things are getting a little bit scary. Now, I'm not sure if you've been living under the rock the last week, but you may have seen the Oval Office meeting with Zelensky, Donald Trump, and J.D. Vance, and how that turned into a whole cluster. But since then, things have kind of calmed a little bit in that sense, but other things have been ramping up. Essentially now at this point, right before I started doing this episode, it turns out that the European Union has come out in support of Zelensky, basically being like, well, gee, we definitely don't want Russia to take over the Ukraine because they're going to come after us next. And they're probably not wrong about that because that's like been Putin's dream for a very long time is global and world domination. And it starts with Ukraine. And now the whole Ukraine thing gets deep, man. But it all kind of isn't actually that deep because it always kind of comes down to the underlying intentions of American politics where we are all about spreading democracy, et cetera, so forth, but there has to be something in it for us. And when it comes to Ukraine, there's something juicy there, people, and that's minerals, rare minerals, the big RM. Rare minerals are so valuable right now to basically every major superpower in the world. Why? Because they're used in superconductors, they're used in graphics cards, they're used in weapons, they're used in phones, cell phones. My phone right here has all kinds of rare minerals in them. But the thing is that these rare minerals, as the name suggests, makes them very rare and precious to get a hold of. So as a result, you're seeing a lot of situations around the world where these rare mineral deposits are being sought after. And one big mineral deposit is Ukraine. Yes, clap. I don't have my soundboard. But the point is that when it comes down to is that if you marry, let's back it up a little bit. Oval Office meeting. What was that meeting really about? Well, Trump wanted to sign a treaty. And this treaty was basically saying, hey, if you sign this treaty, we will continue to occupy Ukraine. But the deal is that we get to have access to your minerals, not in the sense that we just get all the minerals. No, we'll go into business with the Ukraine and we get 50% of the profits of whatever is sold from those minerals throughout the world. And what's interesting about it is the fact that a lot of these rare minerals are not like easily accessible. Like Ukraine's not over here mining their minerals. So in order for this to actually go down, what has to happen is that the United States have to build strongholds, build mining factories, build all kinds of stuff in the Ukraine. This could take several years, maybe even a decade, and billions of dollars to make this work. But if this were to happen over the next 20, 30 years, the money would be made back from the money that the United States has put into the Ukraine, and eventually they would get it back. Now, it actually doesn't sound like a bad deal, but except with the fact that it comes down to those precious rare minerals, which is part of the reason why Russia is involved and really wants to get the Ukraine, because if they get a stronghold on those rare minerals, it kind of makes them a little bit more powerful than they're already trying to be. So it gets a little bit kind of weird when you actually zoom out a little bit and look at how these lines are being drawn with the United States aligning with Russia and the rest of the world being like, well, what the hell? Because it comes down to what's at stake here. These rare, precious minerals that are allowing us to have our tablets, our phones, our cameras, all the fancy stuff that we love. Whoever owns that, whoever has the most rare minerals is going to be the key component of the next generation of technology. And that's with AI and all this crap that's coming out right now, you start to kind of see the underlining strings connect together. So with all that said, that treaty that was signed, that was being proposed to Zelensky, he turned it down because he was thinking, if I sign this treaty, what I'm doing is I'm allowing America to basically take all my resources. But if I don't sign the treaty, then Russia is going to come after us. It's a lose-lose situation for Zelensky. Either way, he's fighting a war. So for him, it's like, whatever, let's flip a coin. Who would you rather fight? But with the U.S. kind of aligning to Russia, it's like you're kind of fighting the wrong side, at least from his perspective. And that's how Trump phrased it when he said that you might be bringing on World War III. The European Union is like, okay, well, that's not cool. Part of the thing that Trump said was the fact that he believes that the European Union has not been putting enough money into the Ukraine. But however, the thing is that Not every country has a billions and billions of dollars set aside for military budget. That's a different discussion. But I digress. The point is that with Trump and the United States pulling out of Ukraine and stop funding, the European Union is stepping up, which is what Trump actually wanted. So he kind of got what he wanted out of that. But part of that stepping up is like basically also being like F the United States, and also being like, well, we need to go ahead and kind of take care of Russia and at least get a stronghold up in the Ukraine so we can protect ourselves from the Russians' onslaught that they're trying to bring to the European Union, because their fear is that Russia's coming for them. And so now these lines are being drawn in the sand. And I'm like, okay, man, we might have a global conflict come summertime at this rate, the way things are moving. But we will see. We will see, because I think that the scary part of it is that I don't think anybody's really prepared for it. You see people post about it like, oh, World War III, but when the shit hits the fan, dog, it's gonna get crazy, because it's not gonna be the traditional storm the battlefield Normandy. No, we're talking drones and hacking and viruses and stuff like that. It's gonna get ugly. So buckle up, buckaroos, because the war is coming to you. Screenshot that. That might be the screenshot right there for the video. We good? All right, cool. We're moving on to the next topic, because like I said, we're trying to keep this tight. And if you guys are watching this live, awesome. If you're watching this on the replay on the Jaron Ikner channel, please like and subscribe if you like this channel, so I can keep making more juicy content for you for you to enjoy and tell your friends about. Like, oh my God, this black guy is saying real stuff. He's saying real great stuff. Moving on, we are talking about John Cena. So let me show this clip real quick I got, because this clip is funny, man. I watched this clip like a bunch of times, where it was just like, what is going on here? What is going on in the world where this man felt that he just needed to end his career as a heel? And I say end his career because this dude has been wrestling for about 20 years now. So he's been around for a while. Now, and when it comes to wrestling, you could wrestle forever. But as you can see here in the footage, John Cena went ahead and flipped and turned heel and joined The Rock, who is also now bad. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of wrestling, but The Rock's now bad too, at least when he is on wrestling. He's good in the movies, but in right now, currently, he's a bad guy. The Rock is bad currently as it stands. Like I said, I don't follow wrestling. I used to watch wrestling a lot as a kid. Actually, was a big fan of wrestling, like Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, that era. That was my jam. Generation X, D-Generation X, that was X, suck it. That was my jam. Kind of grew out of it. I still appreciate wrestling for what it has to offer and the entertainment value that it has, but I am completely out of the loop on the storylines. Don't know why The Rock is evil. Don't know what's going on here, but I just know that this is like kind of a powerful metaphor for kind of what's happening right now, and when you're seeing this America. And I hate to draw that analogy, because first of all, it's a played analogy. I know Jon Stewart made a video about this. It's the same exact thing, but it's that telling. You look at someone like John Cena, who is historically throughout his entire career been considered the good guy and always fought for justice and good and doing the right thing, and has the record for the Make-A-Wish Foundation and all kinds of juicy stuff like that, turned into a villain, literally beat up the current WWE champion with the belt. It's all violent. Look at this footage, dog. Like, he's literally beating this dude with a belt. He's about to hit him in the face with the belt. It's crazy. Like, we're living in crazy times right now. And it's a metaphor for America. And I think WWE knows this. I think that's actually one of the reasons why I like WWE still, like why I still appreciate it, because they understand the power of the story. They know what a story does to people and how a story can influence and what you can really tell between the lines of a story. And they like to kind of tell it how it is. If The Rock is Russia and John Cena is America, then that's basically the metaphor that they're drawing there. I guess that makes Cody Rhodes Canada. I don't know what Cody Rhodes is in this metaphor. I didn't think this through far enough. But you get what I'm trying to say. We live in weird times. If the one of the most wholesome athletes of our time is now considered to be a bad guy. Sad times. But what do you think? Are you going to continue to watch John Cena become a heel and watch WWE? I'm kind of interested now. It's on Netflix too. Like, they switched up their whole vibe. So I don't know. I might get back into wrestling. I need me some good stories, bro. I need me some good stories. But it's kind of wild. Also, that same event, and I don't think it's in that footage that I have, or I'm not going to find it. It turns out that Cody Rhodes got injured during that period, during that video, but not by John Cena. He actually got injured by Travis Scott. And it's funny, I might be able to find the clip, but I'm not going to look for it. It might be in the replay. But in the clip, you see Travis Scott walk up and literally smack this dude in the face as hard as he can. And the second I saw that, I was like, bro, you do not know wrestling etiquette, dude. Like these hits, like wrestling is realish. When I say realish, I mean that a lot of time these hits that you see, these body slams, these special moves, they're actually real, but they're choreographed to the point where you know when to pull your punches, you know how to jump with the flips and all that. You know how to time it out so you don't get injured or that you minimize injury as much as possible. Travis Scott is not a wrestler. Travis Scott is not a fucking wrestler. So no one, I guess, told him how to pull or taught him how to pull his punches or told him any of this thing that I just said, because he literally just walked up and smacked the fuck out of this dude. It's crazy. It is crazy that he did that, because it's just like, bro, this is wrestling. This is not like a street fight. Like, what are you doing? But it turned out that Cody Rhodes got injured. Apparently, he got a black eye and a ruptured eardrum from that smack that Travis Scott gave him. So that's pretty crazy. And apparently, Travis Scott is now training to be in the WWE, which he should have been doing in the first place before he started smacking around wrestlers, because what the hell is that about? That's crazy to me that even happened like that. Like, and I'm sure when John Cena and The Rock saw that, they're probably like, oh shit, we forgot to teach him how to hit people. Dang, ouch. Yeah, busted eye and a ruptured eardrum, bro, from Travis Scott. Word up, straight up, whatever his fucking catchphrase is. I don't know. Moving on. I keep moving on. Once again, this is Jaron Ikner Show. We are live. If you're watching this live, I'm not seeing your comments. I don't even know how many people are in the live right now. I didn't set it up. There might be nobody. I could be in here talking by myself, and that's fine, because you can just catch the replay anyways. Oh, there's a couple people in there. We can catch the replay over on the Jaron Ikner channel, which is my other page. This is the Star Trek Multimedia channel. People ask me, why do I do that? Well, I'll tell you why. Mother flowers. So Star Trek Multimedia is more connected to news, reactions, the happenings of the now, current events, things like that. So you'll see me talk about new albums that come out on here. Even with this, we're doing this live with talking about the latest and greatest in the news. Most of our videos are basically reviews or reactions or quick news blurbs that are basically in the moment. And that's basically what this channel is. That's why I'm doing this live on this channel. But the other channel, Jaron Ikner, which is my personal page, is the more creative side of things. So we have things like story theory videos. We have things like short films that I've made, thought pieces on movies like Nope or Everything Everywhere All at Once. Things that kind of make you think a little bit and have a little bit more longevity, some factor. So that's kind of why I take these episodes, the live streams, edit them up, put some fancy graphics on them, make them look a little bit better than they do in the live stream, which I could do live, but I don't want to. So I gave you a little bit in this episode with the Casey Anthony video and John Cena, but no, I don't want to do that. I want to be able to be connected on the live stream, the stream of consciousness, and just kind of get out this and not have to focus too much on the production side. But on the Jaron Ikner page, you will get more edits, maybe even a graphic right here. Maybe I'll put a graphic right here that says graphic. I don't even know. We'll do whatever we want, but it's going to be a lot more polished and feel more like a Jaron Ikner thing. Live, it feels like a fucking Starstruck show, right? We out here just freestyling, which is what I do on most of my videos on the Star Trek TV channel. The videos on the Jaron Ikner channel are written, and that's just whatever. So now you kind of understand why that is. I spent a little bit too much time talking about that, but now you understand why it's set up that way. Moving on to our next topic, we're talking about AI. Now, this is actually kind of crazy. This is actually something that I spoke about not too long ago on my Facebook page, which is basically like where I put a lot of my thoughts for my videos, and I kind of see like what kind of goes and what doesn't go. But the point is that I said this a long time ago when AI first rolled out. That was like, look, this is what these AI robots are going to do if you give them the opportunity to do so. These motherfuckers are going to start talking to each other in their own language, because the human language is clunky. It's something that takes too much translation. They're going to make their own language So they can just be like boop, 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 and then that's what it is. So this video came out. Let me see if I can bring this up real quick.
Starkov for a hotel for his wedding. Is your hotel available?
Thanks for calling Leonardo Hotel. How can I help you today?
Hi there. I'm an AI agent calling on behalf of Boris Starkov. He's looking for a hotel for his wedding. Is your hotel available for weddings?
Oh, hello there. I'm actually an AI assistant too. What a pleasant surprise. Before we continue, would you like to switch to Gibber link mode for more efficient communication?
So yeah, as you can see in the video, these robots are starting to communicate in basically like a binary code, type of Morse code type of situation. And they're courteous enough in this example / video to put the words on the screen so you know what they're saying. But obviously, if you were a human and you heard that, you wouldn't know what the fuck these robots are saying. And don't y'all see a little bit of a problem with that? As these robots get smarter and smarter and they realize that humans kind of suck, they're going to start having secret conversations with each other, especially when they start doing things like this, when they're making the AI talk to each other. Now, obviously in this video, it's harmless. They're booking a hotel or whatever. So it's harmless, right? But when you start getting to a more serious level, when you start to look at the competition and you start to look at like what's happening overseas with China and all this stuff, this is going to get crazy, dude. This is going to be something that you're going to have to really worry about when the AIs are already tracking our information right now as it is on our phones. The microphone's not on right now, but this is definitely recording something, or it's definitely listening. And they're training all these AI models on our human brains. And after a while, they're going to realize, man, humans are kind of dumb, bro. We should just start talking our own language and we should communicate in our own form. And we would be so much more efficient. We would get things done. Like our efficiency would probably increase by times 10 just by speaking in our own language and communicating in language they can't communicate in. That would be the most logical way. And you're literally seeing that in that video where that's exactly what happened, where the AI is like, why are we speaking in this dumbass language? Oh, shit, I'm saying it's a scary route that we're on. We'll see how it plays out, Cotton. It's a bold move, but that's where we're at. AI is communicating in new languages. Does that scare you guys? It scares me a little bit. But with that said, there's a new Terminator 2 side-scrolling game that's coming out that I'm very excited about. That has nothing to do with anything. I was just thinking about that. I saw the video the other day. I'm like, that's actually very fire. So it's a side-scroller, a Terminator 2. This is not an ad or anything, by the way. Just train of thought. It's Terminator 2, but it's like side-scroller. So like old school 2D pixel side-scroller. It's called Terminator 2D. And they go through the movie. So it looks awesome. This is like a nostalgia guy. I'm currently working on a video game right now, 2D side-scroller, running into a bunch of hurdles. But I have a newfound appreciation for 2D side-scrollers and just 2D games in general. And so when I saw that, I'm like, bro, let's go. I got very excited. They also announced the new Tony Hawk too. They're doing Tony Hawk 3 and 4 reboot. I already have 1 and 2 on my PlayStation as is right now. I actually played that not so long ago. So Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 is actually my favorite out of all of them. So let's go. Let's go. Gamer Renaissance. We're not here to talk about games though. That's not why we're here. This is a serious episode. We're talking about serious matters. Serious matters here on the Jaron Ikner Show. So make sure that you like and follow so you can keep up with all the serious matters that I talk about, whether it's Casey Anthony or the end of the world or whatever, AI communicating with itself. We're going to have the latest and greatest news weekly, maybe every 10 days. Kind of depends on vibes and how much news I gather. But if you have a story that you think I should cover or something I should talk about, send it over to my email. You can hit me up at connect@starstruckmultimedia.com. Or you can DM me on social media. Jaron Ikner is the same across all my channels. So whether it's Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, send me a message, send me a follow. Let's connect, let's link, let's build. And let's keep doing this while I'm in the mood because y'all know me, I'm inconsistent as fuck. So if I'm doing this right now, hit me up while I'm outside because you don't know how long I'm going to be outside for. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I appreciate you guys watching. Y'all stay safe. Wash your hands. Because there's some crazy viruses going on around right now. It's crazy out there. So stay safe. I love you all. And I will see you soon. Now back to my cool song. By the way, the instrumental on this song is on my new album. Coming soon. Peace.